Hello all, this is Mark Wilbur at logicmason.com, and this is my wrap-up video for my experience as a student at Hack Reactor. I've been pretty busy the last few months. I moved and I had a lot of job hunting and interviews and things like that right after I graduated. So I put it off, but I keep getting email from people that are saying they're looking at going to school at Hack Reactor or some of the other schools like App Academy or Dev Boot Camp or the original school like this, Starter League out in Chicago. And I had a really good experience, I would say. It's, let's see, it was 10 weeks into the class that we had our speed interview day where prospective hirers came in and talked with each student for 5 to 7 minutes. And after that point, we still had 2 weeks of class left. I spent most of that time doing phone screens and going to in-person interviews and pair programming with prospective employers. And I didn't end up getting the kind of social proof boost that I had been looking for. No one had even heard of Hack Reactor because the school was just too new. Didn't matter though. I got so much of an improvement in my hard skills while I was at Hack Reactor that the tech interviews went really well, and yeah, it was awesome. I got to say thank you to Marcus and to Sean, my instructors, and to all of the support staff that was there, and my classmates for just being there at the school from 8:30 until often midnight, and just you know help pushing me along. It was intense, and it was totally worth it. Let's see. By the last week of my time in the class, I was interviewing with Google and with Groupon, who I accepted an offer from, and a few startups. It's a really cool consultancy that uses Ember.js, and one of the startups uses Meteor as their main. Like that's what they're building in, which is awesome. And one of my classmates took a job there, and also a Japanese game company. So it's all kinds of things going on, and I did pretty well in the technical interviews. Like there were a couple of places where the position wasn't really a match for what I had been learning, but I think I represented myself as well as I could have in that situation. And for the places that were interviewing me on my understanding of JavaScript or Node.js server or Meteor or front end stuff, I think I did pretty well. In the end, I ended up choosing Groupon for probably three reasons. One is the big one is that the interviewers were amazing. Like they were all super smart, and yet they weren't intimidating. I felt like these were the kinds of people I would like to work with. Two is, oops, the monitor went dim there. Two is that it's a big name. So after time at Groupon, I think it pretty much ensures that my having graduated with the Japanese language major will never negatively impact my hireability as a technical person again. And three was I like their tech stack. There's a lot of cool stuff going on there. Not sure how much of it I can share online, so I'm not going to say anything. But it's cool stuff. It's the kind of thing I want to be working on, and it's not the kind of thing where I'm worried I'll be siloed into some like in-house technology that no one else uses. Like I'm learning really useful stuff, and I hope to stay at Groupon for quite a while. But I can still follow conversations and understand the technologies my friends at at other startups and larger companies are using. Let's see, I've been there about 3 months now, and it's going pretty well. I'm actually working with one of the really smart interviewers that had influenced me to want to go there. So I have lots of opportunities to learn stuff. We just had this internal hackathon called GeekOn, and we basically got to spend 2.5 days working on whatever we wanted with whoever we wanted. Just meet new people, build new stuff, and that was a good experience for me. Like I got to work with some of the big data guys, and I built a web server for them, and we made something that is actually going to be useful, and some people may put 20% time towards to keep going in the future. So yeah, that was fun. What else? Lots of good stuff. Life in general has been good since finishing Hack Reactor. Got a bike, riding my bike to work every day. I try to get back to San Francisco when I can. Yesterday was the graduation party for the 4th cohort. I was in the 2nd, and it was cool to see those guys. I feel like the school is getting better and better since I've left. Two of the people I hung out with a lot in the 2nd cohort ended up doing a group project that got onto the front page of Wired Online. If you Google hackers spawn supercomputer, you'll find that. And it was awesome. They were working on what had been my favorite problem before in Queens. Actually, there were 3 that were working on it. Their group kind of grew a little ways through. Yeah, and in the 4th cohort, so these would be so the 3rd cohort would be the people that were there for the second half of my class. Like they were doing their first 6 weeks when I was doing my last 6 weeks. The 4th cohort showed up right after I left, so I don't know them as well. But several of them did this project called Reddit Insight, which is this cool analytics site where you can just play with the data of all the people that are using Reddit.com. And they got onto TechCrunch for it, TechCrunch TV. So I would bet that students coming out of Hack Reactor now are not experiencing the thing I did, where there was no social proof from coming out of it, because now lots of places know that our acceptance rate is lower than any elite universities, because it's very small classes, and the starting placement for engineers coming out of Hack Reactor is also better and higher median salary and all that kind of thing than out of any undergraduate program I've heard of. So it feels like it's this ball that's just gradually gaining momentum, and it's cool to be part of that community. And I hope with future students who, like, say, the 5th class and 6th class that's going to be starting soon, like I hope I get to meet all of you at some point. If you're watching this because you're trying to decide what school to go to, I'm totally biased, so don't ask me, but you can read my blog and see what I was thinking when I signed up, and see how it turned out. I also don't know what will help you get into the school, other than being someone who the staff feels will succeed. So if you don't really like to program, it's definitely not for you. Like, you're going to be working in front of a computer like really, really hard, pretty much all the time for the time that you're in the program. That's pretty much it. Yeah, so that's how things turned out.